Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and my month-long October Halloween-A-thon is marching right along, and as promised in my previous video where I talked about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the theatrical version, in this video I want to talk to you guys about Halloween 6, the producer's cut. That's right, the much sought after, long time swapped and traded amongst fans and friends, bootlegged a million times over, and sold at horror movie conventions for many, many, many years. Halloween 6, the producer's cut. I first laid eyes on the film probably a decade ago, if not longer. A friend of mine from Canada cut me a bootleg on VHS and sent it to me. So I've seen it several times, and this isn't going to be a traditional review really of Halloween 6. If you want that kind of review, check out my previous video where I talked about Halloween 6 more in depth as far as storyline and characterizations, etc., etc. In this video, I really just want to talk about the differences between the two, and really want to leave it up to you guys as to which is the better version, which is the more definitive version of Halloween 6. And what's funny is the producer's cut, calling it the producer's cut is a bit, it's kind of a murky title, because from my understanding from the writer, Daniel Farrens, that cut of the film was, the director liked it, he signed off on it, the producer liked it, he signed off on it. They sent it up to the people at Dimension, and they had issues. They wanted reshoots, they wanted things removed, and the theatrical version is the result of that. And as I said in the previous video, the theatrical version of Halloween 6 feels just incomplete to me. It feels like it got bit by the reshoot bug big time, which it did. And some of the differences between the two, I mean, right off the bat, the producer's cut, the narration is from Dr. Loomis. It's not from Paul Rudd's character, Tommy Doyle. We see after the birth of Jamie Lloyd's baby, the man in black, the mysterious man in black walks into the room, and he takes her baby. She eventually gets the baby back. She escapes. Michael Myers chases after her. There's no big sequence in the barn. She's not, thrown onto that farming implement, Jamie Lloyd, and, dies in that bloody, horrible death. Instead, she's stabbed. A little while later, she's taken to a hospital. She's in sort of a comatose state, and the man in black walks into the room, basically says, "Your job is done," and shoots her and kills her. So very unceremonious end to the character of Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 6. I have to say, the producer's cut of Halloween 6, I have to say I definitely appreciate the theatrical version of her demise a little bit more than in the producer's cut. The producer's cut also goes into a little bit more backstory about Thorn and how Thorn sort of possesses Michael Myers, controls Michael Myers, or controls the evil within Michael Myers, or supplies the evil within Michael Myers. It's more of a, and I hate to use this term when I talk about Halloween 6 just in general, but it's more of a coherent, cohesive storyline, an ABC kind of storyline. Whereas with the producer, or the theatrical version, it seems truncated. It seems like they almost, and then they stop. They let you in a little bit, and then they sort of just let things, they leave things, untied at the end. The ending of the film, far, far better than the ending of the theatrical version. Not a great ending in general, per se, but a real ending. Where, the theatrical version is just, it is what it is, an ending, just to end it, leave it open-ended, and move on, pretty much. Donald Pleasance says, he's telling Paul Rudd and Marianne Hagan, I've got to go back inside. I've got business to take care of, which we see at the end of the theatrical version. He goes back inside. He finds Michael is laid out. He takes the mask off of Michael, but it's not Michael. He looks down a hallway. He sees Michael walking away. The Thorn emblem mysteriously appears on Dr. Loomis's wrist, and Dr. Loomis then becomes the keeper of Michael Myers. And then we hear him screaming and far, far better ending than what we get with the theatrical version of Halloween 6. The thing that I want to just stress about the producer's cut of Halloween 6, I don't think it's not a far superior movie to the theatrical version. They didn't cut out anything that just made it a much better film. It's pretty much the same movie, and both films sort of have their camps of fans and supporters. Of course, there's a lot more in the producer's cut camp, but I think that's really just because it's never really been released. It's although a lot of people have seen it, not everybody has seen it. Not the amount of people who've seen the theatrical version have seen the producer's cut, although it's been widely available for years and years and years. It's sort of one of those things where it's got a kitsch value, I think. Now, I do think it's a strong film. As I said, I think it's a more complete film. I think it's a more coherent film. It feels more like a completed film with an ending as compared to a movie bitten by the reshoot bug that has just sort of let's wrap it up and move on kind of ending. And a lot of people think that it is the version of the film that Daniel Farrens wrote. It's not. He's admitted that it's not. It's closer to his version of his original screenplay, but it's not. And then that film was just never made. It got to the point where they were budgetary constraints and stuff like that. So I mean, his scripted version of Halloween 6 was just never really shot. The producer's cut is closer, but it's not that version of the film, which I think a lot of people think that it is, and that's one of the reasons why they really support the producer's cut. I think both definitely have their merit. I mean, the theatrical version, the quick cutting, the stylish choices that they made to try and emulate a lot of movies of that era that went for the MTV quick cutting kind of thing. That actually. I actually like that about the theatrical version, and that makes several sequences in the theatrical version a lot stronger than in the producer's cut. There's a sequence in the producer's cut where Marianne Hagen's character is talking to the young woman across the street at the other house, and she sees Michael Myers behind her, and Michael Myers begins to stab her. That sequence is just edited, and it's much better and far more brutal in the theatrical version than in the producer's cut of the film. But really, I mean, the little differences, it's hard for me because I've gone back and forth. And I mean, really, I like both versions of the film. And I don't think either version is necessarily can be considered the definitive version of Halloween 6. I think they're both interesting to watch, kind of maybe back to back, to see the differences. But I don't think the differences really make either film vastly better or worse than the other when you really compare the two, to be perfectly honest. If you're a Halloween completist, if you're a huge Halloween fan, you should definitely check out the producer's cut of Halloween 6. I mean, you can purchase it, like I said, here and there. It's online. It's been bootlegged for so long. I have no idea why they've not done an official release. And I know, there's been several fan petitions, and even Daniel Farrens, the writer of Halloween 6, went to the Dimension people and said, look, there is a huge fan base who want this movie, and basically they've just been totally apathetic about it. I'm not sure if there's a rights issue. I'm not sure if maybe they don't have those elements. They don't want to, spend the money to put that version together and transfer it to HD. I mean, I don't know. They've just been so apathetic about it. And I mean, that version, as I said, has been widely bootlegged and sold at conventions and swapped for so many years that I find it shocking that really at this point that if you really wanted to see it, that you've probably not already seen it. Number one, and maybe that's something they think that people probably already own it at this point. So why should we do a release when they already own it? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand the apathy that they've shown toward the producer's cut of Halloween 6. I mean, there's a petition out right now that a YouTuber named Film Fan Pete initiated, and in it he even says, we'll start a Kickstarter campaign. If you'll do it, if you'll release this officially, Halloween 6, the producer's cut, an official release, we will initiate a Kickstarter campaign to help you pay for, an HD transfer. And I mean, that's pretty, that's pretty gracious. I mean, to be perfectly honest. But I just, you know, I've seen so many fan petitions come and go. You know, they turned a deaf ear even to, you know, the film's own writer. And I just don't really see it happening until, until a company like Scream Factory or Synapse, you know, a really great DVD and Blu-ray company can, you know, acquire the rights and release an official DVD or Blu-ray of it, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. But it's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the producer's cut of Halloween 6. Is it your favorite version of the movie? Is it vastly superior to the theatrical version? Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, I'm going to bring you guys my review of Halloween H2O. You guys take it easy.